welcome back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in, and today we're going deep in the Matrix. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this.
He's the Dawnbringer. Yeah, they first called him Lucifera, and he was a girl. You ever see a girl with a big...
I mean, I saw a girl with a little earlier. He showed me a statue of one.
That's the morning star.
What was her name again?
Venus.
Tell me more about Lucifer.
Yeah, he's the morning star, and he's the one who guards the gate. They call him. He's way older than Christianity, right, or Judaism. He's way older. He's part of the Saturnian religion. Mm-hmm. And what is that? That's the mystery that revolves around sun, moon, and earth. So it's a very, it's all constellations and stuff like that, and all solar stuff, and yearly festivals and whatnot. That's Saturnian, the worship of Cronus. They call it the Golden Age. Mm-hmm. It's before the Zeus enters and takes over, right?
Zeus.
On Olympus, right.
Okay.
It's before he takes over. So Lucifer comes from that older generation. And he's a dawnbringer. What is everybody's job?
What does that mean?
It means you bring dawn. You herald...
Bring the new day?
Yes, you herald the dawn. The dawn is that funny moment when you don't have any sunlight, direct sunlight, and it's kind of they talked about it as a spark in the ether. Spintheer, they call it a spark in the ether. And that's what you're preserving. When you meet as a Christian, and you get up early in the morning, this is how they originally met. They get up at sunrise, right? Now, that's why you have the associations of sunrise with, you know, Easter and all that kind of stuff like that. They get there early because they're dawn bringers, right? Jesus is saying in the apocalypse, he says, I am the morning star.
Jesus says that?
Yes, yes. And he's got a bra on, too.
A what?
A bra.
A bra.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a special device.
So what do you make of that? Why did he say he was the morning star?
Because he has to be if he's going to be the Christ. If he's going to be the one in the position to be elevated as Christ, he's got to be the morning star. That's the title. They're all dawn bringers. Okay. Right? Christos is a dawn bringer. Right? So, yeah, he's got to. He's following, at least the people who are writing about him in John, John's Apocalypse, at least they're making that association. Yeah, notice that they've got filtra, too. The angels, when an angel pours out a filtra, right, or filtron, when they pour it out, that's a drug-containing device. So the angels that pour out the plagues, those are drugs.
Everything is about drugs. There's nothing that's not about drugs. Is there anything in history that has nothing to do with drugs, or is it all drugs?
Yeah, but it was boring, you know.
The spirit of confusion is a weapon of the enemy.
Hey, buddy is tripping. That boy bought that beard. That is not no beard. My boy, you painted that on. You can't grow no facial hair, my boy. Oh, hell no. The barber lied to my boy.
He told his barber, hey, give me the recross. GTA mission passed.
I want to show my appreciation. I want to buy everybody back there. I want to buy y'all some chicken. And you can keep this $100. Just all I want you to do is take one piece of chicken and bite it. Any piece you want right now for this $100, you can have it. I want any one of y'all, let me see y'all eat a piece of that chicken.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't get it actually. You can keep your money.
Okay.
You take your money.
Okay.
Just take your money.
Okay. Go ahead.
I didn't get it actually.
You didn't get it?
I didn't get it actually.
He wants y'all to eat a piece of that chicken.
I want to buy you a piece of your own chicken. I want to pay for it. I want any one of y'all, just take any piece of chicken and bite into it.
He asking you to buy
I want you to eat it.
Oh, you want me to eat it?
Just bite it. He just wants you to bite it.
I want you to eat it.
He wants you to bite it.
I'm gonna buy it for you. You eat it.
Okay, I can't do that actually, right?
You can't eat it? Why?
Why you can't?
We all know why, but hey, maybe he's vegan.
Demons aren't afraid of sage. They're attracted to it. It's not protection, it's actually petition. You're not protecting yourself from unclean spirits by using sage or smudging the house. You're petitioning unclean spirits to you. It's like moths to a flame. Because see, you have to remember that the act of a burnt offering, it's biblical, right? It's God's principle. He created burnt offerings in the Old Testament as an atonement for our sin. And so the devil has hacked the burnt offering because it was originally a burnt sacrifice unto God, see, but the devil has perverted it through sins of divination and through worship of false gods to be a sacrifice to him and to demons. So the sage, this act of smudging, it is received as a sacrifice to unclean spirits. It attracts them to the space. It does not deter them from the space. It attracts them to the space. It does not protect you in the space. It petitions them to the space.
Comment down below.
And not only sage, you need intention, faith, and words.
Nope, these are not just eerie warnings for our lives, but we are being warned that they are watching us, and if we don't do something now, we won't survive to the next year. People were terrified after Kendrick Lamar's haunting halftime performance left the crowd in complete shock, with many saying that it's not just a demonic warning, but a horrifying prediction of what America will become, with it already coming true, and none of us will be able to escape this new era. Images showed the hailing of the Freemason to symbolize how America is in trouble and needs to prepare for the worst, with flashing clips also showing the hangman referenced in tarot cards to say Americans are about to be cursed with lots of death. The performance ends with the terrifying phrases "game over" and "warning wrong way" flashed right at where Trump is sitting.
Are we all tripping with those conspiracies, or are they just pushing?
We just started silent reading when I heard the awful sound. It was so bad we had to leave the classroom.
I was just sitting in here reading, and then we heard the big one. And everybody started laughing because it was so funny. But then Johnny passed out, and everybody had a hard time breathing.
Local hazmat crews were on site today to make sure that the classroom was cleaned up and it can be reused again.
We've just begun the fumigation process, and it should only take about 3 days before the room is usable again.
I want to ask that kid, what did you eat? Is he fighting himself?
The consciousness, the feelings are not in the body. They are in this field, this deeper field. They are not in the body. We project them in the body. They are not in the body. We are not. We, who we are not the body. We don't exist in space and time. We exist in this deeper reality. You see, that's why we are so indoctrinated on one end and so also hypnotized into believing that we are the body, that we always fall into this trap of believing that we are the body. Yeah, we have a soul, but then when we think about ourselves, we think about the body. No, the body is just a structure that then perishes.
claws of the reptilian beasts.
Another frozen fruits recall, but this time it's not just strawberries. Frozen fruits sold by Walmart, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Target, Aldi, and AWG are getting recalled because of a listeria contamination. Listeria is an organism that can be fatal or can cause serious problems for children, elderly, or those that are immunocompromised. Just weeks after the hepatitis A outbreak with organic strawberries, but this time it's not just strawberries. This time we have a long list of fruits like blueberries, strawberries, mangoes, cherries, fruit medleys, and much more that may be contaminated. So if you have bought any of these, make sure you're getting rid of them.
Tonight, an important consumer alert about a multi-state frozen fruit recall. Numerous brands are being recalled because of possible listeria contamination. The products are being pulled out of freezers at several stores, including Walmart, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, Target, and Aldi. The FDA says customers should check the recall alert on its website for specific codes and dates.
Make sure you send this to any of your friends that have bought any of these, and stay safe out there.
Сказали, тоже подъем есть, наверное.
Не, ну при желании где угодно можем подняться.
There is no duality. There is no duality. In other words, there is no this way, completely opposite and separate from that way. When you say duality, you say separation. No human being and no religion and no dharma is separate from another. There are different facets, different aspects. They're like grains of sand, but each grain of sand is different. But together they make the beach. And the beach serves the ocean and is served by the ocean. So we must remember that there is no separation. That's the message.
Is this the final message?
Nobody.
Silly joke.
I'm gonna walk away and get on with my life. But then two things happened within the space of a month, and I said, I can't let this story go. I just have to know what is really going on with this disease. And one was I met a CIA Black Ops guy who said in 1962, the weirdest thing he'd ever done in his whole crazy apocalypse now career was dropping poison ticks on Cuban sugarcane workers. That was Operation Mongoose. So that was the first evidence that we had dropped ticks on a foreign country as a bioweapon. And then the other thing is one of my filmmaker friends went out to Willy Bergdorfer, and in a very long interview, at the very end, he said, yeah, when I investigated the Lyme disease sickness in the late 70s, early 80s, there was another organism there. It wasn't just Lyme that was making people sick. It was, and I was told to cover it up. It was probably a rickettsia. He didn't release all the information, but what he said was confirmed by copies of his lab books and subsequent interviews that I had with him.
Pardon my ignorance, what is the disease you described, the other one? Rickettsia?
So it's a rickettsia. It is the same organism that causes Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and that's the most deadly tick-borne disease in the United States. It also was a germ that was being weaponized by the U.S. military at the time, and they tried to stuff it in ticks. I mean, so what is tick weaponization? So in the interviews with Willie, what he said was, I spent over a decade in the biological weapons program, a contractor to Fort Detrick, working on weaponizing fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, trying to mass produce them, stuffing fleas with the plague, stuffing mosquitoes with deadly Trinidad virus, and then stuffing ticks with either deadly or incapacitating diseases like relapsing fever, Venezuelan equine encephalitis, rabies, leptospirosis, which is another spirochete. So it's just like Dr. Strangelove trying to make new diseases, mixing bacteria and virus in ticks with the intent of, this is the perfect stealth weapon. It's poor man's nuke. You drop these insects on an enemy, it weakens the population, It ties up the medical resources, but doesn't destroy infrastructure like a nuclear bomb would. And in one report from a bean counter in the military, they said, tularemia, which is tick-borne tularemia, also rabbit fever, we can kill 10,000 people at $1.33 a life. So anyways, it was just, there was more to tick-borne diseases than we realized, and I began suspecting that Willie was right, given this context.
What is deja vu?
At the soul level, outside of the simulation, you saw that before because you watched this sort of preview of the life that your next incarnation. So you saw this preview of the life, and instead of showing you the entire 80-year, 90-year life, they just show you this. It's like a trailer for a movie, and there's going to be certain scenes in there. Well, deja vu is when you actually you select that incarnation, you go into the life, and then you're living the life, and those scenes happen in real time. You remembered it from when you were selecting that upcoming incarnation, that upcoming life. So it's kind of like, say you watch a trailer for a movie, and then you go and watch the movie, and then you get to the scene in the movie that was in the trailer, and you're like, I've seen this before. It's like that. But it seems so foreign to us because we have a memory wipe when we come into the simulation.
Deja vu, let me know in the comments.
People get stuck in the matrix through the food that they eat. You're brushing your teeth with fluoride and calcifying your pineal gland, seed oils, all of that stuff. That's a rabbit hole. You got music, what you're listening to is programming you. What you're watching, your social media feed, what people are talking about on your social media feed, really just what you give your energy to is what is creating this feedback loop. The biggest influencers on the platform, Mr. Beast, KSI, Logan Paul, Kim Kardashian, all these artists as well, they're all pushing demonic shit. How so? Take Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. They just launched this new company called Lunchables or something like that. Lunchly, yeah. And it's just this garbage food box for kids with a bunch of fucking sugar and processed foods, and they're like selling that to kids now. They're just doing that to make a bunch of money, and that's in essence the demonic agenda. All these three people are just running from their own shadows. They're all on ego, all about status. They don't really give about each other. They're just trying to grow more, build at the detriment of other people. That's the whole demonic agenda.
Here it is. This is the polyhouse. This is the future of housing.
This futuristic-looking ADU was not built in months, but in days.
They put it together in 3 days.
The 500-square-foot space came together like a giant puzzle.
The unit is made out of 64 panels.
The panels are not your typical wood construction. It's mass timber.
There is no oxygen within the section. And that's what causes it to be so fire resilient.
The cross-laminated timber, or CLT, is remarkably fire resistant.
The wood charges at a very slow rate because of its massiveness, and then fire cannot penetrate.
The brains behind Polyhouse are University of San Diego's founding architecture program director, Daniel Lopez Perez, and his wife.
We feel the pressure of the housing need.
The efficiency is remarkable. The entire structure fits on a single truck.
And that's exactly what California needs. That two-step verification is madness.
Alright everybody, I'm going to show you that I have a lot of interdimensional being friends and spirits that they just come to me. Hello my interdimensionals. Wow, that's cool. Where's he going? Where's he going? Darn it. Where did he go? Hello? You wanted to pay me a visit, huh? How are you? Wow. You're beautiful, but don't go away. Don't. Oh. Oh, that was a beautiful one, everybody. And you can see ice on my lake right there. It's winter. It's not a bug. That is, that's either one of my spirits or it's an interdimensional being that I just call them out and they come to me.
Cool and fascinating.
The main HDMI switch, 16-in-1, RCA switcher. If I want to select any gaming console, everything here in the Excel sheet, you can see this is main, this is HDMI, B, C, D, and so on. This is the RCA. I have everything here, okay? Once I turn on the 360, it will come directly. All the consoles the same, everything. Xbox Series, even PlayStation 5. You can see here Nintendo Switch, the OLED model, the latest. Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo 64. I use a converter here.
If you are powerful to the point people believe what you say, and there's one person in particular who it's the same power as Tupac had, and you have that kind of power and you disobey their orders that they tell you, because then your handlers, it's not about, hey, do this or Nike's gonna drop you. It's do this or we either expose a tape of you getting raw dogged by a male or we kill you.
Yeah, but like how it's like you got to put yourself in that situation to be able to have that sort of blackmail. You don't just have blackmail like that unless like you do something.
They do something. They sell their soul. They enter that world. They know what they're in. It's not an accident. They know they can't disobey it. But a lot of the times, imagine when you're under like a hierarchy and you're under this world and you have a handler and one day you want to break out because they did something you didn't appreciate or they promised you an award that you didn't get that year. Because that's how this world works. Do this for us and we'll give you a Grammy. Do this for us, you're winning the Super Bowl this year. They can call me crazy. Everything I'm saying is factual right now. It's never the message that's wrong, it's the messenger. I say a lot of true things, but because it comes out of my mouth, people don't listen.
Fusi was never crazy.
Y'all might want to check on y'all peoples downtown Cleveland. Man was trying to dodge a deer and ended up sliding off into something. He done almost totaled his car, but guess what? He built Ford tough and he's still rolling in the hood.
I'm 72 years old. I look exactly the way a 72-year-old is supposed to look. At 72, I'm supposed to be able to get down and do a plank. I don't need to eat nobody's else mucus, nobody's blood. That is not going to nourish me. We do not have the digestive enzymes to break down animal flesh. We do not have the teeth in our mouth to break down animal flesh. We swallow chunks. Tell me, that's what's gonna make us sick. That's what's making us sick. It ain't no nut and it ain't no seed. I bet you the intelligence that created the human diet gave me exactly what I need to get as much iron as I need, and I ain't gotta kill nothing. Don't dare tell me to eat another animal's organ to get what I need to be healthy. No! Why we got so much diabetes? Why we got so much heart disease? Let's plug in arteries. What is the food that you eat that will plug your artery? It ain't no apple. It ain't no broccoli. Industrial farming is not good for nothing, y'all. You cannot do it. You cannot try to raise enough cows to feed all the people on the planet that want to eat animal butt. You cannot. We don't have the land mass. Because when we do the things that is against the natural way of doing things, we mess up everything. You got to practice self-love and self-care. And you got to understand the importance of the oneness on this planet.
Guess what? I bet you never thought that important piece of mail that you were looking for, that you can't find, you call the people, they say they mailed it, you say you didn't mail it, I didn't get it, where is it? I'm looking for a check, I'm looking for a gift card, I'm looking for some important documents from family and friends, like what's going on? I bet you never thought it was in the trash. All your stuff, like bills you've been looking for, bank statements, checks from anywhere, refund checks, any kind of checks, gift cards from family and friends for graduations and anniversaries and wedding gifts. And
we all know it's tax season.
Did you know that if a policeman gives you a ticket, cop pulls you over and gives you a ticket, that is called a ticket in commerce. And so if you go to buy something and you don't have the money and it's too expensive, you ask me to co-sign for you. Now, if I co-sign for you to buy something and I co-sign on the ticket, that means if you don't pay it, I have to, right? Therefore, when the cop gives you a ticket, he signs it first. It's called a ticket in commerce because money is going to change hands. Therefore, when you sign it, you are the co-signer of the ticket in commerce. Well, as a co-signer, you don't have to pay the ticket. You are just the co-signer, and you can decide, I don't think I want to pay that ticket. So then you send the ticket and the paperwork to the Secretary of State, and they then give it to the Attorney General. The Attorney General then sends it back to the cop, and the cop has to pay the ticket because he's the one that signed it first. You were just a co-signer. But as long as you don't understand this, people don't understand the way banks and commerce works. And government, religion, and it's all one big show. And if you're not licensed to play in the show, like George Carlin used to say, it's a big club and you ain't in it.
Pay property taxes. I own my. Get back. I own my. Don't do it. I own my. You understand why we're out here? My guys aren't going to Forever 21. I didn't get down here. We can get out of here. Okay. And we might need an escort. We got a vehicle right over there. A Jeep. We got a dog in it. Hey, come on. Hey, stop. No! Hey, come on, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I got the wrong neighborhood. Guys, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. They ain't gonna come to y'all neighborhood and do that. It's not worth it, guys. Hey, it's not worth it. We'll get that. Just, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Back, bro. It ain't worth it. Back. It ain't worth it. Back, guys, back. Bro, it ain't worth it, man. It is. You know it is. It's not worth it. You know it is. It ain't worth it for these ignorant ass people. Hey. Guys, y'all gotta get out of here. It's not worth it. Come on, D. Get that up out of here. Get your out of here. You're out here.
And that could be anyone. Mask on, mask off.
It goes down a mine. They're like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move. It determines how many people can retire from the federal. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then, yeah, nobody can retire. Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people.
And have they already replaced Elon?
You eat eggs? Richard, you eat eggs? Yeah, we eat eggs. Well, you know, the eggs was my hardest. Because I had my own chickens, and I thought, well, I'm not hurting anything. They're laying eggs right here. I pick them up and they're fresh every morning. But what I realized, it was just a fresh menstrual cycle. And when I realized I was eating, like the reproductive waste of a chicken, and I was scrambling it for breakfast or whatever. It's the truth. But I'm serious. And then I started thinking to myself, would I want somebody come in the middle of the night, stealing my periods, putting them in a basket, maybe, tearing them away, scrambling them, or fry sunny side up, for God's sake. I actually watched how they're made up inside of them and how everything is collected, and then it comes down that one hole. I saw this and I was like, we're not supposed to be eating that.
Period.
Last month, they were talking about how they found a reality where time flows backwards from us, right, from our perspective. And what Spirit showed me was, if someone from that place came to this place and had a book, they would be able to see our future by looking at their history. Think about it, if time flows reverse. So they would know everything ahead of time. So what if they want us to think that this is just a time loop, but see, something about that feels wrong. Okay, let me not even go there. Okay, so they were showing me about this book. Now, in the Discovery of Witches, the show that I told you about, right? There is a book. They hunt this book the whole time. The book is made of the magical creatures. And so what I sorted out on live, we were code breaking, was the book was bones. bones from someplace else, that they could study those bones. Now, I saw this loop, and it led me to the fact that Saturn must be bound. Saturn's being manipulated. What does Saturn govern? The bones. The bones. The bones. So this is what they were telling me, that something over here, right? And I think it starts with a V, right? Has these bones. Mind you, a skull is the best bones for trapping a soul in. And what is the one picture someone kept showing me? People kept showing me this picture over and over. It's the Vatican, someone from the Vatican holding a skull. Why do they have the skull? Right? Okay. So what Spirit told me was this book of knowledge would be bones, right? And through the bones, I believe that's how they were able to manipulate Saturn the way that they were, to bind us. So think about it. If they have our bones, if they have the bones of like the original ancestor or something, do you understand how that's encoded with everything? Do you understand in quantum mechanics how that can affect everyone? If it's the bones of the earliest human on this side. We already know they were in the mummies, eating mummies. Come on. We already know. How far-fetched. And then when you look at, there's plenty of civilizations like in Madagascar, very connected to France, right? France has catacombs too, big-time catacombs. They do a ceremony called the turning of the bones to get ancient knowledge from their ancestors. So they already, that knowledge was already there. It's been stripped from us, this way of accessing data through the fucking bones. So I think this is how they stay ahead of everything. They have this book of knowledge, these bones. They know the time, they can look at the history of those bones and look from the other place, everything in reverse. So you guys see what I'm saying? Okay, because I know this is like a little bit extra weird, but when I saw that Saturn governed bones, when we were code breaking, I was like, I've been talking about bones. Remember when we went to the damn museum and those bones had me going crazy, had me tweaking? Something about the bones being outside of the body. And the thing, like they're more powerful because they don't have to share their energy. So I was looking, would the bones degrade over time? Not if they're taken care of. Not their infinite power source. They don't break down, they don't degrade as long as they're taken care of, right? So it's our bones, that's the tie to Saturn, that's the tie to binding us to time, using this planet instead of what it's intended for, because what Spirit told me was this planet was a place to train all gods. All gods came here to learn how to use our power responsibly, and then someone got greedy. And they said, I can cast a spell, and I can pull their power, I can have them give me their power through a curse. How might a curse look? Something like a cross? How might a curse look? Something like a cross. How many people are wearing a cross right around their heart? How many people only know their power through something that's associated with a cross, right? Think about our binding.
And people have been sleeping on it. Pobrecita.
But this is insect protein energy bars. And there was a man giving these out by the 100 today. They really want you to eat the bugs. This is not a conspiracy theory, Alex. I couldn't believe it. I took it.
Gates trying to ban cows and genetically modify those that they do have. He wants to put out a maggot milk where fly larvae are turned into milk. And then, as you said, they're hiding this stuff, and it's pure criminal activity.
And they didn't understand there were insects in it. And I asked the guy who was about to eat it, I said, did you hear him? There's insects in this. And he almost gagged. This is a energy bar that was being handed out on the streets of Davos today. Cocoa cashew flavor, has protein in it. The word insect or bugs is nowhere on this. But this is insect protein energy bars, and there was a man.
I find out I don't think nukes are even real.
What? We got to dive into that. So what made you have that position?
Actually looking into it, the facts around all of it are insane. So Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I think they were all bombed, but they weren't even in the top 10 most bombed. Did you know that?
No.
Tokyo was way more bombed. They weren't even top 10. And the Japanese didn't surrender because of that. It was because the Russians just went into Manchuria, and there was no fallout. The fallout was what scared me. I'm like, okay, so it's going to poison the water and the air forever and ever. And then my dad did a speech in Hiroshima or something, and I was scared about the fallout. And it's like, oh no, there's no fallout. And then I realized that they never even evacuated. And then I started looking into nuclear bombs, and I'm like, so where is the proof? And then right here in Nevada, they used to blow all of them up. There's no fallout. So I'm like, oh, it's like a psyop. And that's why I'm not even trying to push it on people that they're fake, because I see the game theory of it where it's like, I have a gun under the table, so do I, let's not go to war. But the fear of it was nuts growing up. There's really no evidence that they exist as described.
One time I put into ChatGPT, if you were the devil, if you were Satan, how would you stop someone from being successful? And ChatGPT said, number one, I would fill their mind with doubt and fear. Yep. Number two, I would make them focus on instant gratification. Number three, I would surround them with negative influence. Number four, I would make sure that they remain comfortable. Yep. Number five, I would make them think that they had to plan everything. I would use procrastination as an advantage. Number six, I would erode their confidence. Number seven, I would make them focus externally, not internally. Number eight, I would give them poor habits. And number nine, I would remove the sense of urgency. So obviously, if that's what Satan would do to stop you, then all you have to do is reverse that.
Now you know what to do. Predator assistance on the way.
Speaking of Will and Jada, and Meghan Markle, it looks like they're all having Sony troubles. Sony's not backing the Smiths anymore, and they won't hire Jada. And Will was trying to get Jada in the Men in Black 5, and he wanted over the $100 million. They said they ain't hiring Jada, and they said they ain't paying him that. He really never. All right, I'll be mine. And now they're saying that they're thinking about not using him in future projects. Period. And they doing the same thing with Meghan Markle too. Blocking her projects, won't let her move. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. Respectfully, all of these people who have been playing in our faces and using the media to confuse the narrative so that they can go to court and get away with they are constantly tainting jury pools. This isn't just one concerted effort. This is something that they're doing consistently. So all of these people can walk away. This ASAP Rocky trial is sounding real sketchy too. They got Rihanna sitting there in the court. Like, one of the potential jurors literally had to say, yeah, Rihanna being here will sway my opinion. Wow. Wow. Then why is she there? Wow. Me and my gadgets and gags. But seriously, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and if Will and Jada are over and Sony is no longer backing them, they're screwed. That Rico? I'm curious to see what's coming down the pike. Because now British bloggers are gossiping about the fact that Becky with the good hair wasn't a woman, it was actually a man, and they're saying, allegedly, that man is Will Smith. I'm serious. They not ready for the truth. They not ready for the truth. Respectfully. Snoop, he ain't safe. Ain't none of these people safe. I've been trying to tell y'all that for years. And now here we are, the Jaguar Wright Show. That's my truth seat. And that's the time, because we're gonna be clocking these hoes.
Sit comfortably and get your popcorn ready.
This might shock people, but our intestines was never really made for food. It was made to process the air. It was made to process motion. It was made to process sounds, and it was never made to process food. It's the ultimate energy processor in a way. Food has basically messed up the whole mechanisms of the intestines. So that's why they promote that you eat 3 meals a day, which I don't suggest. I suggest that you try to fast as much as possible. Yeah, man, there's people all over the place doing all these things in the name of clean, and they're really attacking their own immune system. True cleanliness is a strong immune system, so that if anything foreign comes to your body can get rid of it. Our minds always feel as though it has control. It always feels as though it knows what's best. But in fact, this mind here is filled with illusions. Your body's already perfect, and your body's already all-knowing. If you just allow your body, you'll be surprised on what it will teach you.
I just know the potluck after this gonna be fire.
I think that AI is a very ancient technology. In the book of Ezekiel, especially, the vision of them traveling in these craft that are a wheel within the wheel. So they had to have made these in a different realm. So they have a technology. I think our understanding of technology is just different.
I don't think we could even do the math on what that tech would look like, because we are limited by the dimensions we are.
And we're not meant to understand it.
Again, we're going to go full circle back where it talks about it'll be like the days of Noah.
Yeah.
I think the days of Noah were way more complicated than just people being bad people, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it was just like Nephilim walking around. I think if you talk about like the Tower of Babel, I believe they truly possess this heavenly type of technology that could be devastating to humans. It's like the tree of good and evil, right? This is a thing from the heavens that they were probably messing with in the days of Noah because of the fallen angels introducing all these things. And then I think that's getting reintroduced today through potentially AI, quantum computers.
This may be a dumb question, right? They took a bite. Was their knowledge actually given?
I believe so.
It's very important to be a light worker and not a light slave. Light workers, the ones they understand spiritual and energetic world very good. They understand material world very good. They have active personal life where they can receive their needs. Those they can channel lots of love, light, power, energy, talent, wisdom. They can do miracles. And light slaves, the ones they understand spiritual and energetic world very good, but they reject the material world. They don't know how to work their truth out. They don't know how to let go. They don't know how to receive. And they don't want to face all of that. They want to escape to look for their mission in life, how to serve and to help others. In that moment, they are turning themselves from light workers to light slaves. Try to remember that we cannot give what we don't have. You have to be number one for yourself so you can receive your needs, so you can do your mission in life. Otherwise, you will keep serving for the others all the time, and you will have less self-esteem, and this will make you a big problem later on. It's very important to be honest to yourself. If you cheat yourself, Everyone else can cheat you. If you don't cheat yourself, no one can cheat you. You are the best who know what you like and what you don't like. You are the best who know what you can do and what you cannot do. You are the only one who know what you need and why.
And who needed this?
Shh. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Stay still. Be quiet, Choco. Boy, this is some scary stuff. It's on top of a picnic table. It's about 10 javelinas out here looking for food. Now they all over here so we can make a run, but I don't know if we run. I got 2 little kids with me. I don't know if they can outrun them. So the police is here to escort us. They're on their way. And it's ongoing lookers looking. But we're just standing here until we get some police escort to just go back around the corner. This is crazy. We are standing on top of. It's one thing about living out here around my house. You have to get out before the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, that's when all of the animals come out because the sun is down and now they're able to look for food. And they definitely kill your pets. So,
Shh, be quiet, Choco.
It's a sad situation, a way they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because I got free. Because you're getting free service. They want me to come back in tomorrow. They want me to, because they money keep flowing.
Is that slavery or just paying your debt with interest?
And the billionaire class have gotten together and said, don't worry, no one on the Republican side in the House and Senate who control both the House and Senate is going to speak up and challenge us. But we need to protect Americans' privacy and their social security. For 40% of all Americans, Social Security is the basis for their retirement and their retirement savings. And for 28 million Americans, Social Security is the only thing that they have. And that's why we have to make sure that we are protecting it as well.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Is that mind control?
I'm absolutely tired right now.
Would you say 3?
Oh, I said 270.
Okay, there it is. 324.61.
And bro is working hard for that tip.
Yeah, the term swastika, that is not a German term. The very name swastika is a Hindu word, and it's a symbol. Now, most people in the audience have probably never heard of this, but in occultism, it deals a lot with energies, with powers and forces, and these powers and forces come through something that are called chakras. And the word chakra is a Hindu word which means spinning vortex. Now, the swastika is a symbol of the chakras that are energized and working in unison. So the word swastika is a Hindu word, not a German word. And the word Aryan is a Hindu word. You know, it has nothing to do with ancient Germans. The Aryans were the Brahmin caste of Hinduism. So much of the terminology and concepts that Hitler used were from esoteric Hinduism and had nothing to do with, ancient German culture or folklore at all.
Juice WRLD, are you here with us right now? Do you have anything to tell your fans? Juice, are you happy where you are? Juice, what's your favorite song you ever recorded off any of your albums? Juice, do you have a message for Allie, Lottie, your girlfriend? You want me to stay?
And what prison is he talking about? The moon prison? The soul trap?
Shut up!
Is that Didi's lawyer?
To show you my Skibbity toilet collection that I just got today. We went to a toy store and they had all of these things like this cameraman, these tiny little action figures, this big Skibbity toilet, and these ones. And then I saw my friend the other day and we went on a walk. And we also got ice cream that day, and I'm having a lot of fun.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, that gave me the chills. And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.